G'day everybody. Alabar Jones here. Just wanted to tell you about our latest flight. It was a doozy. Oh my God. And it's probably what we've been working towards for the last 5 years. Now, for those of you who've been following the show, you've been watching us initiate a conflict against Demonkind. And we've had a great time. Demonkind has not had a great time. They're facing extinction. And that's wonderful, wonderful news. It's good for every living human being, believe me. Now, there are garden variety problems, which are the kind of emotions that demons love, which include jealousy and anger and despair and hatred and depression and all of the things that are mental health based. And if you haven't figured out that all mental health issues are caused by demonic interference, then welcome to the party. That's what it is. Now, you'll probably also wonder, are our world leaders mentally ill? Are they as crazy as they sound? Because every time they open their mouth, I wonder what's in their head. And the answer is it's a very specific class of demon. There's a very specific group who've come to Earth who are specialized in running a globe, misleading a population, enacting policies that sound okay, but really the whole point of them is to destroy something. Or if something's running well, then they just want to make sure it doesn't. And each policy is advertised as useful and helpful, but somehow it always has the opposite effect. Well, that's government. And why is government like that? Well, it's because demonkind has gone to a lot of effort to make sure that they possess every single human being, well, let's just say, in Parliament. There have been people lining up for a political role, with all the money, fame, and power that comes with it, and they're selling their soul. But what they don't realize is they're also selling out the rest of their species. Well, today we had our biggest blow against that ever. So if you've been watching the show a week or so ago, we said that demonic population is reduced by 95% and that they are facing extinction. However, there has been a handful of demons who've been husbanded by the dark side. These are the guys that they really don't have any hope of claiming the earth if they lose these guys. And so there's a handful of them. They're to do with pedophilia and rulership of the earth. And so those two groups, we hit the one that's going to help the most people. But without 95% of demonkind producing loosh through manipulating humans, guess what? Earth has become a net deficit. Earth used to be one of the most profitable planets in the galaxy, and now it's actually in the red since we've managed to wipe out the large proportion of demons on the Earth. We've done something really cool. And today we took a much closer look at their power structure. And so what we found is an astral corridor linking 45 different chambers, which through further analysis showed us that in each chamber is all of the people in Parliament and their lackeys and the wannabes for each country. So each country has its own sort of dimension where they're trying to manipulate the course of that country. And we found 45 of them, which are all the OECD countries and their hangers on. And so that's who they are manipulating. And this corridor, we were able to address each of those very, very well. But in the center was the globalist group. So the UN, the WEF, the WHO, World Bank, IMF, Federal Reserves, all of those globe spanning groups, all of those peak bodies for different international groups. Well, none of those people are elected. They're all hired by Illuminati. And so today we had a crack at all of that. Now, as far as the 45 individual nations go, we succeeded. One after another, we were able to destroy all of the people, all of the demons who were inhabiting individuals, and then destroy his type of demon, like delete the blueprint for that kind of demon, so they won't be creating any more. There were lots and lots of politicians whose thoughts we could hear as this was happening. And there was basically two kinds of politicians. One who had found themselves in a situation that overstretched what they planned for. So, the policies they're writing, the material they're creating is just too much and it's too destructive to humanity, and they don't want to be involved. And then there's the other type who are falling all over themselves, trying to work harder and destroy harder for the Dark Lord and trying to gain his favor. I mean, how ridiculous. Like, I don't know why these people think they're going to get anything out of serving the Dark Lord. Like, I mean, they must know the guy. They must know he's never going to pay out. Like, he's never going to look after them. Once the rest of humanity is enslaved, they're going to be too. They don't get no privileges. Like, because who needs a traitor like that? Who wants to be friends with a traitor to his whole species? And so now what we're expecting is for a change in government policy. We want to see the whole world take a step back from things like digital ID and CBDCs, or stable coins as they're called now, and that whole manufactured drama, which is the final trap for humanity. We want to see government policy step back on that. Now, as far as the globe-spanning spy and financial network, which includes, health and environment and security, well, look, we didn't succeed. Not today. We didn't get all the way through it. However, there is quite an expectation that our next flight will. It's just that the work we did, like, they didn't pull any stops. We saw a lot of unique apparatus and encountered a lot of unique demons and problematic things that we haven't encountered before, we haven't never seen before. They were real problem-solving dramas. And I kind of guessed that this would be a difficult mission. So it was only our very, very, very best who were on that flight. And about halfway through it, we said, well, look, if we brought everybody, we'd spend most of our time patching people up from this one. Like, it's only the black belts that come on this one. And as it turns out, that was the right answer. But after 2 hours of banging our head against their machine, I was like, there was smoke coming out my ears. I was pretty stuffed, actually. So I was pretty burned out. And when I said, let's have a break, everybody immediately agreed, yep, we need a break. And then when we got back to it, I go, I'm not feeling better. I think we can just leave this for another time. So let there be hope that the humans running our world will actually run it for the fucking humans. My God. Let there be hope that this influence is finally going to see a world without demons whispering into the ears of world leaders on a relentless basis. Looks like. I don't know if I'm exhausted or excited or both, but this is a monumental day, because this is the moment where we start to claim our world back. And those politicians who have been crying out, trying to reconnect with their Dark Lord, that's not possible in the way it was before. And for those who are appalled by their own actions, but locked in thanks to some good blackmail from guys like Jeffrey Epstein and P. Diddy, everybody's favorite. There's more of those guys around. But those guys can actually change the policy and start turning things around. So they're not trying to stamp the boot heel down on humanity's face. We'll see. We'll see. But just know that our team is breaking strides, and we're hoping that, before Halloween, we can make that celebration for them nothing to celebrate. Anyway, look, I've got a course coming up next year if you want to get involved in this kind of work, or if you want to be part of the energetic rebuilding of the earth and restructuring of the earth, please have a look at my course. It's on my website, alabarjones.com. It's one of the most comprehensive around, and most of the people who graduate end up flying as part of our team. So if this sounds like the kind of thing you're interested in doing, you want to fly with a group and make the world a better place, my course will train you into it. If not, you'll just be an awesome white wizard. You'll just be at the tippity top of what healers know. Anyway, my love to you all. Bye for now.